right? And I've been here. I've been working or have worked with HCL before as well. I was there at the time when HCL actually adopted the ITIL best practices way back in, I assume that was in 2007 or 8. I've been a part of HCL then came back here, and I've been leading the training and hiring department over here as well. Abhinaya is one of our ServiceNow architects, right? She has a vast experience in ServiceNow coding. So any coding people out here or any knowledge about coding, she would be the one to reach out to. The intent of this session here is to provide a basic ServiceNow overview to familiarize yourself with ServiceNow, its concepts, what it offers, right? And some insights into some of the integrations and some of the features and functions of ServiceNow. So Abhinav, over to you. So you can take it from here.
Yeah, thanks Ayush for the introduction. That covers pretty much about my experience. So I would first of all like to welcome you all for the ServiceNow overview session, and let's begin. So give me a sec. I would like to share my screen. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's begin with, so what is ServiceNow? Have anybody heard about it? Just let me put it in the presentation mode.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So ServiceNow. Yeah. Any background or anything that you can?
Yeah, I worked. This is Dave. I worked with ServiceNow on another job. We started using it. It was developing a new program for the company, so that was my first introduction. How to get into it, how to use it for tickets and knowledge base articles, how to create those. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, that's great. The people who are new to ServiceNow. So I think my screen is visible. So Now platform that we call is provides an application platform as a service. That means it is a cloud-based service, and where you don't have to install. It's not an installer or it's not an application that you install it. It's hosted on a cloud, and what you need to do, it works as it works based on the subscription. So and it is being managed by ServiceNow, which is the organization who owns the ServiceNow product. And as it says, the next sentence, like it's not limited to the specific department or function, but encompasses the entire enterprise. So what it means is it's not specific to, say, for example, it's not specific to the ITSM module alone. ITSM is basically to manage the IT services, right? So these ServiceNow as a product, it has various products saying that in HR, we have like ITOM, which is basically used for discovering CIs. And we have software asset management and also hardware asset management. And it also has products for HR services, basically for onboarding and offboarding employees. So that's where ServiceNow comes with as a whole, not only for the IT services. And as it specifies, it is very modern and it's an easy to use and service management solution in the cloud. So this basically helps in automating the repeated process and to standardize the service delivery. So this is also customizable. The ServiceNow as a tool, it's also customizable. And moving on to the next slide. Yeah, before we go to the ServiceNow major releases, let me give a background. The ServiceNow was founded by Fred Lurie in the year 2003. and the headquarters lies in Santa Clara, which is in California. And ServiceNow basically has their way of naming their versions. So the ServiceNow begin with it was begun in alphabetical order. So the first version name is like Aspen, and then it is Berlin, and so on. So let's see in the image that is displayed on the screen. It says about the previous few versions, which is like Madrid. It was released in the year 2019 on March, and then New York, Orlando, Paris, Quebec, Roma, and the current version, which is active, is San Diego. So what this version means, it means that there would be certain enhancements from previous version to the newer one. So to give you an example, in the previous version as Rome, they had a different UI. UI says like UI 16, and it has a different look and feel. So now in San Diego, they have some next experience UI, which means it's more enhanced version. So similarly, there are a lot of areas in which there are some upgrades which had happened when the new version is released. And the next upcoming version would be Tokyo, since it is in alphabetical order. So now it is San Diego. So the next version is Tokyo, which we are likely to expect in the month of September this year. Next one is about Now Platform products. As I said, ServiceNow has various products. So as you can see in the screen, IT service management. This mainly deals with the service to deliver the service IT services like incident, problem, change, release, request, workup experience. So these today's session will be more focused on IT service management, and we also have other products like IT operations management. So these are the various sub modules that you can say, which is coming as part of this IT operation management, where we have discovery. Discovery is mainly for SCI. CI is a configuration item. So if you want to discover a CI in a network, then we go with discovery. And service mapping is for the applications. And we have event management as well, which is for the, if there is any event generation happening, like a CPU is going down, or the CPU utilization is high, or if there is any other server which is down. So those things, we have event management monitoring tool as well. So when there is an integration between the ITSM and the ITOM, we make use of these modules. And HR delivery, as it says, it is mainly used for this employee, like we call it as like onboarding and offboarding of employees. We use for employee service centers and even to address any HR related queries. So the purpose of this HR is to address all the HR related activities. And we also have software asset management. Sorry, was there any question?
No, Vinay, go ahead.
Okay, I take it. Okay, so we have software asset management, which is mainly to assist in the managing the softwares. So this is a pretty much overview about the platform, various products in the ServiceNow. And moving on to the next slide.
Yep, and just to add here, Abhinaya, for all, for your all understanding. So ServiceNow as a platform, why is it successful, and why companies are, moving into ServiceNow platform from the traditional approach? I mean, like we have worked in I've worked in many CRM tools, right? I've worked in Remedy, I've worked in HPSM. There are many tools, right? But the reason why ServiceNow is so successful is that it's not limited to only one line of business. anyone can adopt it in their organization. This tool is so vast and so easy to use, and there are so many integrations which are designed. Like for example, we used to think, or when I was into ITSM and I was also a part of service desk at once, we used to use it only for just creating tickets. Hey, this is incident. We create a request. We create a change. Hey, we use it to order something. We use it to order a printer. Like that's what our thinking was of an ITSM tool, right? But this tool offers much more, right? Like for example, you must have heard about the terms agile and DevOps, right? Now you talk about it in theory, but in ServiceNow they've actually implemented it. There are plugins, there are functions and features which you can use, which actually helps your organization to uh, be go into an agile mode, or DevOps, like releasing a product, testing. It has become very easy uh, by the introduction of ServiceNow. So the intent here is to let you all know that ServiceNow is not only related or limited to create tickets. It's used by every business vertical, maybe HR, finance, service desk, IT service management, hardware asset management, like to maintain the IT assets. Everything is done in a one single tool, and it's highly customizable. That's the beauty of this tool. So that's all that I wanted to add. Thanks, Abhinay. Any questions, anyone till now? Okay.
Okay, so moving on to the next slide. It is about now platform interaction. So what are the various ways that we can access the platform? One is using the next experience unified navigation. That is nothing but the instance that which is the primarily used. And the second one is the service portal, which is basically for the end user. So this instance access, next experience unified navigation, this is basically for the service desk people. And for the IT admins who would be, or the support groups who would be working on the incident tickets, not only incident, like any request. So we also can access the Now platform from mobile, and having the URL and the credentials, when it is enabled for that particular instance, this can be accessed from the mobile as well. So these are the three ways that you interact with the Now platform. Moving on to the next. Yeah, so this is the first way of accessing. So it's primary way to interact with the applications and information in a ServiceNow instance. And it has various features, like notable next generation features includes the landing page, which we will come across in the next slides, and the navigation menu and tabs for the application and modules. You can also add favorites, and you have history, and there is workspace. So these are the major features that can be utilized in the UI. So this is how the UI looks like. So as soon as you log into the instance, the home page pretty much looks, it's actually halfway here, just to depict the various features. So you have favorites. There is a menu called All menu here, which is hidden here. So there, that's where you would go and access what are the incidents assigned to you, or like assigned to me, or assigned to my group, and what are the open incidents. Sorry? Sorry, I think my voice is echoing.
No, that's fine. I think we can hear you fine. Maybe Abhinay, if we can kind of also showcase later on by giving them a demo, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Showing them how it looks like. So folks, this is just for an overview. Yeah, from a content standpoint that we want to show how it looks like. We would be giving a detailed demo as well once this is over. Yeah, go on, Abhinay. And we can hear you fine.
So yeah, so we have various other features like global search. Basically, if you provide your ticket number here, it would search for all the incident or the tick or the any service request, any kind of request, and then it would bring back the ticket in the form view. And this is basically the profile where you can set your themes or some preferences, which I can show. And this is for the notification. And we have the help here, help option. Yeah, this is the user menu that we see. So pretty much these are the features. Moving on to the next slide. So this is how, when you open an incident form, it looks like. And when I show on the tool, I can give you more update on each fields and how it works. Just to give a heads up. So this is on this incident form. Actually, I've split into two here. This is the upper portion, which shows what and all fields have been present. And this, it has a few other fields like this we call it as a tab or sections. So wherein you have certain fields. And this, the below portion that you see, this is called related links. So whenever you can relate and change to an incident, you can relate a problem to an incident, a knowledge article to an incident, or even a CI and a service. So in those cases, this shows you what and all is related to that particular incident. And this is a change management, the where we have like three different types of change, like an emergency, normal, and a standard change. And this is the interceptor window, which how it looks like. And pretty much when you open a change, this is how the form looks like, where you have the various states on the top. When the change is created, it will be in the new state. And once it is assessed, it goes to the next state, like assess, authorize, schedule, implement, review. So we'll go through this in the tool. And same way for a problem. When a problem ticket form is opened, this is how it looks. New, assess, root cause analysis, fix in progress, resolved. And this is an example for a dashboard where you can see the reports. So I've just picked up a problem dashboard. And we will go over all this in the tool. Yeah, now it is the service portal, the other second way of accessing the Now platform. Basically, it's very user friendly and mainly used by the end users for this for creating any tickets or raising any request. And this actually contains, it actually contains widgets that we call it as the portal, as in it is designed in a way where it has pages, and inside the pages, there are widgets, and each widget would take you to certain functionality, like, submit a request for service catalog or for searching a article, knowledge article, and creating an incident. So when I show the tool, show it in the tool, it will be more easier. See, this is how the page, this is a portal page, and this is how it looks, the home page. Here you can type into, how can we help? So here you can type in the query to look for any items or search for any article. So these are the widgets which we talk about. This request something, this is one widget, and knowledge base is another widget, and this is get help is another widget. This is how the page is designed, and clicking on each item will take you to that respective module. And yeah, so pretty much this is all about from the slide. Any questions before we move on to the tool? Okay, I'll take it as a no. I just would like to turn off my camera considering the bandwidth. Thank you.
I think there is a hand raised by Shafika. Shafiq, I'm not sorry, I'm not able to get that name correct. So yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. That's the correct pronunciation.
Okay.
Question was, when you're in the incidents page and you're creating your incidents, are those opened in a separate tab or are they opened on the same tab?
So when you open an incident, first it'll take you to, I mean, there are options. If you wanted to click on the open incidents, then it'll take you to the first list view. And then when you try to create an incident, it'll take you to a new page. And there you can, I mean, there are ways I can show you, like when you click on submit, it'll again take you back to the list view. But if you want to stay on the same page, there is an option called context menu, and there you will right click and do a save to stay on the same page. So those are all certain features which I can show in the tool.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other
So
questions?
yeah. So in the meanwhile, while Abhinaya, shares a screen, to answer your question, you can create or, you can create, once you create on the, create incident button, it will take you to a new page, but it would be on a different tab. You can create it on a different tab as well. Then it can also change it to the same page itself. There are options. So you don't have to open multiple like ServiceNow instances. So it has the flexibility.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is how the page looks like. And this is what we were showing as an all menu. We can either pin it up or unpin for your convenience. And this is what we say as navigation pane, where you can search for certain application models. So here, if I would like to create an incident, when the agent wants to create an incident, I would type an incident here. And when you type in, you could see all the options. So there is a self-service application under which you have certain modules, and you also have service desk. So basically we go with the service desk. So in service desk, you have n number of sub modules like for incident, change and all that. I mean, incident and problem. So when you, if you want to open incidents, so there are certain modules which is pinned. Like when you click on this open, it will take you to all the list view of the incident table, basically. See, this is the list view, where all the incidents are in the open state. Now I've clicked on all. Okay, so this is all incidents. And if you want to filter out to look for only the incidents which are not in resolved or closed state. I mean, let me go through the incident form and show you all the states, and then we can come back to this. So for example, I wanted to create an incident, right? So I click on the create new incident. When I click on this, it actually takes me to this same page. And if I would like to have it in a new tab, I click on control and a click, which will take it to the new screen here. Okay. So in incident form, pretty much these are the fields which comes out of the box. For example, say I want to create an incident for an issue saying that an application is not working. Say some, tabular, it's an application which is not working. So let me, somebody has called and then, and a user has contacted the service desk over a phone, and then he has reported this issue. So in this scenario, the service desk agent would open this incident form, and first he would fill in the details. For example, say it is Abraham Lincoln who had called. So I'm putting in who's the caller. Then the category, it is on a software and there's an application issue, right? So there is no, so they say operating system. So this is the these are the two values that you would choose in that category and the subcategory, which would actually depict what the issue is about. So then you have to, select the configuration item. Configuration item is something like, on which CI it has been affected. So here randomly, I would like to select some item here. Let's see. It's on, no, it's a software. So yeah, the way you search for an CI is like you can add a star, and this field is called a reference field. It would take you to a table. When you click on this zoom sort of an icon, that search bar, then it'll take you to this. So for now, I'm just randomly selecting one CI. Okay. So this is which service is affected. That is what this field depicts to. And I would like to select and a particular service. So this channel would specify how this incident is being reported, whether it is via a chat or an email, or it is through a phone, or it's approaching the self-service, or virtual agent is nothing but a chat bot. So it's like a virtual agent interacting with the end user and walk-in, or it is a walk-in. So in this case, I'm just trying to select, phone. Okay, this is the way the incident is being reported. And whenever an incident is created, it will be in the new state by default. And impact and urgency would determine the priority. So there is a mapping, there is a matrix. Based on what you choose in the impact and urgency, the priority would be set. So I would set the urgency as high because he's a VIP user. And impact, it is on the production. I mean, how many people are impacted right now? Say, for example, he's complaining that his whole team is affected. So the impact is high, right? So I choose that as high. Then I would give a description about the issue. So the description would be, say, application not accessible. I'm seeing as and some more details like, impacting some 5 members, or how much ever details that you would like to provide on this description. And since when this issue is and all these. So, and after that, we have something called related search results. So this related search results, the out of the box provide a feature like if you type in some keyword here in the short description, it does a contextual search. That means it looks for, here it is like knowledge and catalog, right? It will look for any service request or any knowledge article present, existing with this keyword. For example, in this scenario, the service desk agent, I'm choosing only the knowledge article to see what and all knowledge article is associated with this keywords. So in this scenario, like when the service desk agent was using this contextual search, he or she comes across that there is a knowledge article there, and he could read that and then resolve the issue in the first place without even having this ticket moved to the actual support group. Like here we have the assignment group, to which team that you assign this to. Before even having that, if there is an option that, you know, the agent can read through that content, and there are some troubleshooting steps provided, and he or she can assist the user who is raising this issue. So in this case, that this search would be more useful. And so we have the related records, and okay. So now I didn't find any article. So I'm just trying to assign, and I know who is the person, which team I need to assign to work on this ticket. So I'll be choosing this. I mean, right now I'm just randomly choosing some group. And see, this is called context menu. When you right click, you have the option to save. And here in the form, you have submit. Where you can also do customization, where we have a save buttons here, where when you save it, it lies on the same window. If I click on submit, it takes to the earlier window, which I say like, you know, incident list view. So this is a one feature right now, since it is not enabled, save button is not enabled. I'm just using this to stay on this form. Okay, so now my incident is created. Okay. So once my incident is created, as I said, this is the related list where you can see this task SLA will show the SLAs associated to the incident. SLA is the service level agreement, which would say, you know, which will show the agreement between the service provider and the customer, right? So in SLA, you have two types of SLA. One is resolution SLA and the response SLA. The first one comes the response SLA. That means when a ticket is assigned to a particular queue, how much time they take to respond to this ticket. Respond in the sense it is to be assigned to a particular person. So that is how the response SLA would be counted. And the resolution is like, how long does they take to actually fix this issue? And there is a time which is agreed, right? So that is the resolution SLA. So in this case, if you see the response SLA is in progress, I'm not sure about that. Now the ticket is assigned to this assignment group, right? So there are some notifications which would flow saying that, you know, there is a ticket incident created to this group. So this is one notification, one such notification. I can show you, since I've logged in as an admin. I can show you the email, what email it goes. Okay, so there are two emails which has triggered so far. One is when the incident is created, it's actually going to the user, and the body would be this. The email body is this, which it says like, you know, this is the default, which I'm saying, whatever I'm showing, and this can be customized according to the users, or like, you know, according to the customer. So this says like, you know, so and so incident is incident. This is the incident number, and this is what it has been created. And there is a small you know, update that we provide, like, you know, who has opened this. I logged in as a system administrator, so I have created on behalf of Abraham. So, and this is a short description, and there's what is the urgency of that ticket, and few other fields also we can customize. Since this is an out of the box, I'm just showing you as an example. And the next email which got triggered is about, it says to that assignment group members. So there is only one member here. So that is the recipient which is who has been added in the recipient list. So here I can show the content which is being triggered. See, it says like this: application not accessible, and what is the an incident has been assigned to your group, the respective group, and you have an option in the email that when you click on this take me to the incident button, it will actually take you to this instance. I'm just clicking on this button. Yeah, see, it takes me to this incident. Okay. Any questions so far?
So folks, please feel free to ask any question. I know it's new for some, and we appreciate any question. Don't think that your question won't matter, or it would be uh, very inconsequential or things like that. So raise your hand, or feel free to ask any question that you think or any doubt that you have in mind.
Okay.
I think it's just a little overwhelming because I know when I started working on this for the first time, there was a lot, and then trying to set up your your viewing pane, the one where you had it on the side, to kind of set it up this certain way. I know that was a nice feature once I learned it, but
Yes, so it's very highly customizable. Like we're told, we'll also walk you through, how you can add favorites. Like you would be using some of the, function and functionalities on a regular basis, right? So you can add it to your, favorites tab, wherein you can just, click on it, and, when you don't have to search or type in the keywords, right? It's a very big platform. I mean, like it has countless, functions and features, but us, working for in a particular line, right, in a particular line of business, only use 5 or 6 functionalities at most, right, on a particular given day. And there are reports, there are dashboards which you can configure. You can just click and see, which all tickets are just assigned to you. There is an option for that. You can just see which all tickets are assigned to your group, right? Like for example, service desk, how many tickets are there which are in open status that you need to work on? How many tickets are there which are assigned to you that you need to work on or dispatch? So things like that, right? So we have shortcuts for that. It's like I said, the beauty of this tool is that it is very customizable. You can add or remove, and the view Abhinay is showing is very standard out of the box. So when we say or use the word out of the box, it's like, what ServiceNow has to offer. And when I say it's very customizable, every organization, right, according to their needs, customize the tool. But the standard functions, like in an incident field, you'll see an incident number, the caller name, the details that you have to enter, while creating a tickets, those would remain the same. They might add a new feature or function wherein, you just at a click of mouse, get some emails, or you can just escalate the ticket or things like that. That is depending upon how the organization wants to use this tool. But these features or function you'll find, as standard whenever you're creating any ticket. So right now we're just going through the incident. We're going slow, step by step. It now, like right now, it looks like, it takes a lot of time to create an incident, but believe me, once you start working on this tool, you are like 5 to 6 days into using this service now. It won't take you more than a minute to create an incident. That's the maximum time it takes. I've seen agents creating the tickets in much lesser time for a small issue wherein the information is easily accessible from the user. So it all also depends on how the user is able to explain the issue. But to submit a ticket, you just need to fill in a very few basic details like the CI or the service and the description of the issue. That's all you need to do as a part of service desk, to create a ticket. Then there are other fields wherein you need to attach tickets or attach it to a change or things like that. We'll cover that later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that was my next question. Had things changed? Like if you like a user calls in, has a ticket, you research to see if there are any other tickets in this user's name that it might be open, or the fact that we're closed, but they're having the same similar, attaching them to the new ticket, showing it's a thing. I don't, because my screen keeps freezing up.
So,
So I
so in
wasn't
the
sure.
yeah, in the upcoming release, when Abhinaya was talking about the related searches, right? Earlier on, what we used to do was to just see how many tickets that caller has raised. Just enter the caller name in the search option. You'll see that's the easiest and quickest way to do it. Just
Yeah.
on the right hand side on the search option, the global search, you just put in the username and it will show you how many tickets they have created or how many tickets were created against his or her name, how many requests she has created or how many requests he has created, how many knowledge articles, anything related to that user would be displayed on the search option. But now in that related search results, right? Uh, you know, ServiceNow, is now uh, capable enough to, just provide the results or some of the related results on your own for you to have a look. But there is another always an option to use that search field. Right. So like I said, it's very, so you think about it, you think about the function or feature, how your life can be made easier. ServiceNow is, capable enough to provide that. So
Yeah.
we'll go that in detail.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Abhinay.
Okay.
I have a
Thank you.
question.
Yes.
I was wondering, when you go into your ServiceNow, is that a single sign-on, or do you have to sign on with a separate password and credentials for your ServiceNow when you go in?
So that is all about how the environment instance has been set up. We can enable single sign-on. In that case, usually it will be the email ID, which is used for authentication. So with that, you can access, or you have the backdoor access as well, where there's in the URL, you can do a slight modification and you can access with your credentials separately without single sign-on.
Usually it is single sign-on that we have seen because of the security.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, please go ahead. And there's a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a knowledge base, database or something on this system that you can uh, look for resolutions immediately?
Yes.
How would you approach that?
Yes, that's a part of your agenda. We'll show you, how a knowledge base look like, right? So, Abhinay, if you can share your screen, in that global search, right, that we were talking about. Although there is a separate function of knowledge article or a knowledge base, right?
Right.
It may or may not be integrated into ServiceNow. Now that's one thing, right? But here, if you can see, she has clicked on the knowledge articles, right? Just have to select the drop down what you want to look at and just click on related research. So anything application not accessible, any knowledge article, it will show it over here. But that depends how mature your organization is, how maturely they have been able to, take lesson learned from the incident and created or converted that into a knowledge article. So yeah, but to answer the question, so this is the quickest way wherein you can just search or type in the keywords, go on to the drop down and select knowledge article and you'll see any related knowledge article. Or there is a knowledge base module itself, a dedicated module within ServiceNow platform on the left hand side, wherein you were showing the filter navigation, wherein you see the option called as create incident or incident assigned to me. You just type in knowledge and you'll see the knowledge base over there itself. But you have 2 or 3 ways you can access any knowledge base.
Yeah, I can appreciate the broad knowledge base there is there, but when it comes to finding a specific answer to an equipment or something, surely there's something that has been documented that you can review a similar incident, not necessarily to tied to that particular equipment or app, but something that can still focus closer that you could beam in.
Yes. So again, this is the field wherein it says related search, right? ServiceNow is, right now, self, like by itself also gives you some of the keywords or the key search related results, right? Like for example, it's not only the person X who has called in, it would show only the related result. Maybe there is another person from any other team had called in for the same issue, maybe like a month back or 2 months back, and you want to see what was done, to which team it was assigned to, what was the mitigation steps, right? So it will show you the related search here itself. I mean, yeah, maybe you can just show, how it works. Maybe that would be
Thank you.
appreciated.
Okay, it's on the knowledge articles.
Yeah, if you can just show how the incident works, like if you can just click on the drop down, you can also see the incidents that have been raised or the requests that have been raised. So. Yes.
On the navigation.
No, in the related search itself, wherein it's written the knowledge articles, I think we can also search any incident that have been raised for that particular issue,
Open
just to take the
instances.
history. Yes.
It looks for the keywords
Yes.
like accessible, similar keywords.
Or,
Just to the
this is one, or if you can just scroll up, right? See, you can see if you want to see any open incident which is there for the issue, if there any resolved incident related to this particular issue or the keyword, it will show everything. But if you want to do a very generic research, right, or a very generic search, then there is this global search option. Abhinav, is this available in this particular instant?
It is available in the. This is called global search.
This is the global
Where
search, right? In the main page, you can just type in application access or anything like that. It will show you each and everything, any change, any incident, any request related to that particular application. It will show you the results. But if you want to just be very specific, right, and you just want to see only the open tickets related to it, or any closed tickets related to it, or only incidents related to it, then you have to use that drop down that Abhinay was showing earlier. So this search or the global search is for very generic or a very low level search of the issue wherein it shows n number of results, right, related to that particular keyword that you would be typing in. But if you
Yeah.
want a very specific or a dedicated response, right, then I mean, if you can go back to that original page that we were showing.
Yeah.
Then if you can scroll down, once you create that incident, you go on the related search and then you use this drop down, right, where it says open incident. There are many other options. If you can just show them the options here, Abhinaya.
Yeah.
Right. Like you
So
want
we
to
have
see any edge, catalogs, requests, open outages. If you want to have a very particular search against that option, right, you can also use this. So there are n number of ways. I can talk about 3 other ways as well, but these are the most used ones. Maybe if we have time, I'll definitely show you. Or you can also connect with us after this meeting, right? And we can also show you if there is anything that is, we think that should be, would be helpful for you. But these are the most widely used wherein you'll get all the results.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So moving on, we have just quite a few fields here, which I would like to show you. So there's something called additional comments. This additional comments, you can toggle between additional comments and work notes. So additional comments are something to be visible to the customer. And work notes are for the internal support group. And this is related records where if you would like to relate a parent, for example, here there is already a parent incident saying that the access, there is an access issue. And several other team members are also complaining about the same access. Because once, say that tabular application is down, so once that parent incident is solved, then all these child incidents would be automatically resolved. That's a ServiceNow feature which it provides. That's the advantage of relating an incident as a parent-child incidents. And then if there is any problem, this incident, if it is associated to a problem, for example, we want to do an investigation on the recurring incidents, then you can use this problem to relate a problem record. And this change request, yes, it is associated to the change. The reason is like any high priority incident to raise an emergency change. There are three types of change, like emergency, normal, and standard. So for an emergency change to be created, the prerequisite would be like the high priority incident. Critical incident is a must to create a emergency change. So then these are the related list. We can see when a CI is associated, what and all the items CIs would be listed here. It's pretty much from the incident. And now I'll just have a look at the child incident. And I can create a child incident from here. In the related list, there's an option to create. If I click on new, it will take me to the new window. And I'm just putting in some basic details. It's not happening. It's been somebody else has reported.
So, Abhinay, if we can just add one quick detail here. So
Okay.
when we talk about parent and child ticket, right? So I'm sorry, I just stepped away for a few minutes. Had to attend an original some important call. So when we say a parent and child ticket, what does exactly it means, right? Now, for example, there is a big outage, right? You have been informed, that there is a priority one ticket going on and a network is down. So whenever a network is down, you would see multiple tickets, right? You would see a lot of event generated tickets. You would see, users calling in, people, panicking from that location, calling you saying, hey, network is down. Someone would just say, hey, I'm not able to access this application. So rather than having multiple tickets, what we do is that we always create one single ticket if it's related to a problem, and then link all the other tickets that have been, coming in. Those are actually known as the child tickets. So that is what parent and child relationship is all about. So I'm not sure if you have already worked in service desk or like you have some previous experience around handling multiple outage tickets or things like that. But that's how we approach the parent child tickets. Like we create one single ticket for a particular issue and relate all the other tickets to it. So, and we put in all the updates on that one single ticket rather than working on multiple tickets. We only work on one single ticket. So that is known as the parent ticket.
Okay,
Thanks.
so here the parent ticket is ticket number is 004. So I would, as soon as I submit this.
I have a question. Well, then, when you have, I'm sorry, I'm
No,
gonna,
please go ahead.
okay, thank you. Uh, so when something critical like that appears and overall the problems have been resolved, how does that program allow you to make sure that everything is actually resolved? That there aren't any floating tickets waiting out there to be addressed.
Right.
How can you see that those have been timely addressed and completed?
Right. Okay. So if I got your question correct, you mean to say that when there is a scenario, right, you're getting multiple tickets, right? How would you know when to close that tickets, right? Or when exactly the problem has been resolved? Is that your question?
Yes, because I get the feeling that there are going to be a lot of incidents that are coming and going, coming and resolving, and then coming in and out.
Yes.
So you follow what I'm saying? Is that
Now, okay, this is a process specific question, so I'll be very generic while I'm talking to it. So there are three ways, right? Whenever there is a major outage like this, there is an outage communication which is sent out, right? Service desk would always have access to those outage communications. You would see every 30 minutes or every 1 hour, there would be an outage communication that, hey, this issue is still going on. Teams are working to resolve the issue. You would always have a service desk supervisor, right? Who would be, working closely, very closely with the incident teams, right? Who would be actually engaged in resolving the issue, right? That may or may not happen, depends how your organization is structured. But the email communication A is very important, right? That service desk has the access to it. Whenever you see the, an issue as such, right? So if it's a very big issue, service desk won't be owning that ticket, right? You would be dispatching that ticket to the team that is working on resolving the issue and just relating all those tickets to it, right? Like you're getting multiple calls, everyone is calling for like a network issue, application issue from a particular site, and you know that there is an issue, right? And it's confirmed that, because of that particular issue at site, there would be multiple calls expected. Usually people put in banners or they put in the outage notification so that users stop calling in. But we have seen scenarios that users keep calling in, right? So that's why you have one single open ticket which is assigned to that group. You create your tickets, right? Because you have to record your interaction with the uh, with the customer, right? So you record that interaction, you create that ticket, and you link that ticket that you have created to the original or the first problem ticket that actually came in. So once that ticket is resolved, that parent ticket is resolved, it automatically closes all the child tickets. So even if there are 50 tickets related to that one single ticket, if that one single parent ticket is resolved at the top, all the related child tickets get closed. So, so that how the so how it works. How would you know about it? It would be through either the email notifications, right? Or there would be the outage notification that is there in some of the organizations, right? Wherein you see that there is a board wherein it flashes that, hey, there's this issue going on. It will stop. It will say it's resolved now. If you still get tickets after that, you can, the teams will figure out if they need to create a new ticket or not. So that's basically on the job thing that, uh, would be very specific to the process, how it is set up. Your service desk is set up in which way. But from the tool perspective, I can only say that, once that particular parent ticket gets resolved, all the other tickets that have been related to it gets resolved automatically. Hope that is something you were looking for.
yeah, that explains it too, that the supervisor would actually ultimately make that decision as well.
Yes. So service desk are also of two types. I really not want to derail from the topic. We have the enterprise service desk and there are operational service desk, right? Uh, Operational service desk basically do some L1 troubleshooting as well, wherein they own tickets and they resolve the tickets at the first level itself. Like for example, some of the service desk agents are authorized to do some password resets or provide some standard access, right? In some of the organization, the service desk might not be doing that. They would be just creating and dispatching the ticket. They would be teams who would be doing some of the tasks that the service desk can or cannot do. Right? That really depends upon the organization maturity. However, you don't have to worry about linking all those tickets. There would be always these email notifications that would be coming in. You would in your inbox, right? And it would specifically say that the issue has been resolved, or you will get communication. So your primary work here would be to record the interactions and create a ticket and dispatch it. The instructions would come from either your supervisor or from the directly from the team itself. Like they would reach out to your group email address, write down that, hey, please from now on do not link these tickets to this issue as it has been resolved. If you report or you get any issue from that site or any issue again for that same application, you have to create a new ticket. So those instruction would be coming from either the team or from your supervisor end.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. So there are various states, incident states. So the next would be like, putting the incident to the in progress state. So whenever you say it is in progress, then there should be an assigned to. The person should be assigned to that, which would be the basic criteria.
So till the time this navigates. So anytime like every organization has some of the SLAs or service levels agreed with the service provider, right? So for the SLAs to start or work, you have to put the ticket in work in progress. So whenever you create a ticket, right, if you are a person who is working on that ticket, you would always keep that ticket in work in progress so that you can record the time wherein you actually started your effort in troubleshooting that task. If from a service desk standpoint, you're not resolving anything, you're not actually doing any troubleshooting on any ticket, you just have to ensure that you assign the ticket to the correct support group and they will take care of the state of this ticket. So but yes, if there is something, it's a how to call, right? Like for example, a user calls in and just say, hey, I just want to know where I can find this particular document, or what is the link for the company portal or any company HR portal or thing like that. And you just provide that and you have to close the ticket. So for that, you need to work through the state, right? You create a ticket, it defaults to new. When you start recording or documenting what the interaction you had with the user, you put the ticket into work in progress state. That is the time wherein you're actually working on that ticket. And once you see that the query has been resolved, you put the ticket into resolved state. So the states I'm pretty much sure you're all aware of. It's new, in progress, on hold, resolved, close, cancel. But I'll just give you a 1 minute walkthrough of each and every state. And I mean, I'm sorry if I'm digressing from that topic. Uh, So excuse me for that. So new is something the default state when an incident is created. In progress is basically once that means you're actually working on that ticket. On hold. Now on hold is very important. In service desk, you would be rarely using this option. On hold basically means that you had an issue, right? You were reported an issue, but you wanted some specific information from the user, which he was not able to provide, right? And because of that, it is impacting your ability to either dispatch the ticket to a different support group, or it is impacting your ability to, assist the customer, right? So till that time, nothing has been done on that issue, right? You're in a deadlock, but you don't want to showcase the business that you have been working 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes on that particular issue. So to stop that SLA clock, you put the ticket on hold. You put in the reason why you have been putting it on hold. Maybe it's like you're waiting the technical team to respond or confirm back that hey, if it's their issue or not. Maybe you're waiting for the customer to provide more information and he has told you that hey, I'll be back in 10 minutes and confirm you the details. So for that you use the on hold. Now resolved is basically once you have resolved the issue, and automatically after 3 days, and like that's how the service now is set up for most of the organization. If you have kept the ticket on resolved, it would wait for 3 days because a notification will go to the end user saying that hey, this interaction with service desk, uh, you had that ticket, service desk has resolved it. If in case you want to reopen that and you are not satisfied with the service, you are free to reopen the ticket. So he is given a standard 3 days time. Automatically after 3 days, the ticket gets closed. Now cancelled is something that you have worked on a ticket, right? Uh, but you saw that the interaction was not worth it, right? Cancelled is something which is which is not actually good for any organization. Like, but there would be scenarios wherein the call got hung up, right? Right. the user called in, it just specified something, but there was no interaction after all. You were not able to get the callback number or details, but you already clicked on that incident. There you can cancel it. Then there is already an outage, right? It says that a change has been created. You were not aware of that ticket, that the outage was there, but you created a ticket by mistake, right? Then what you need to do is you can use the cancelled option or close skipped, but that is something again very process specific how your your service desk is set up to either use the closed option in those cases or cancelled option. But cancel basically mean you're canceling the whole interaction. So service desk does not use it very often. Or actually, me as a part of services, I would have never told people to use this cancel option. But like I said, it's very specific to organization. It's not a one-liner or a once ever given set rule. So that's all about the state.
Thanks for that explanation, Tom. So let's move on. Just let's resolve this ticket. And since this is a parent ticket, when I resolve this, the child ticket also would be resolved. The system is very slow now. Some problem. Just give me a moment. I'm back. So moving on to the portal now, that is for the end user to create a ticket. So the way to access the portal is, since I'm an admin, I'm just using this option. Otherwise, the way is to URL and then there is a SP. That's the way to access the service portal. So this is how the portal page looks like. So here in this menu here, you have options to search for a knowledge article, create a service request catalog, and this request would show what are the requests assigned created by you. So I can show this knowledge. This will take you to all the knowledge articles existing in the system under each topic. Say, for example, Outlook. And you can click to open and read the article. As per this instance, we have these many categories. And let's move on to creating an incident from the So get help is one option where you can create an incident. So for example, I can say a password reset. Usually this will be requested using a service request, but here we have designed it as a a password reset for Adobe Enterprise Services. When I click this submit, you can get the incident number here. And the agent would go to the instance, which is the backend. And then we can do a global search in this scenario. It will take you to the incident. See, this has taken you to the actual incident where the agent can start working on. The next thing. So similarly, we have a service request, which we can create. So there is an option called catalog, which will list down all the service request. It shows to the recent items which has been used. All these are service requests and what are the popular service requests which has been created. The other way is from the home page. I can search for there's something called request something. So when you click on this widget, it will take you to all the service requests available. So for example, if I wanted to create a service request for a desktop, I want to order a desktop. So this is how you can browse through and look for the exact service request. So for example, already few fields are auto-populated and I want a Dell laptop. So I'm just ordering I'll put an order now. There are some details. These are optional, but I just check out. So I can see the request number here. So like incident, we have a module called service request. So in this request, my request, and the one which is created is 002, it appears here. So basically service requests are used for requesting any service, right? Or ordering any items. So this has a different set of fields where you can populate some of the values since this is an out of the box where I say ServiceNow provided feature and there is no customization exist. Certain fields are empty. Otherwise, basically we design it in a way that from the form level itself, we take in all the necessary details to request a service. So here I'm just putting in some details as like configuration, like say, which is all the specifications which is required. And so this request service, to fulfill this service, there would be certain workflow at the end, at the back end, right? So this request has one requested item which is being created and there is an approval configured. So to work on this request, the approval should be, it should be approved. So since I'm an admin, I'm just approving it right away. Before that, yeah, so before that, the request state was earlier requested for approval and now the state is approved. So basically the support team would work on the RATM, which is called the requested item. So here you can see most of the values would be filled in from the portal. And when the requested item is initially created, it will be in the open state. And there are certain states like, if it is pending any information from the user, So then you will have this pending state. And if someone is working on this, if any support group is working on this, then it will go to the work in progress. And once the request is fulfilled, you will put it to closed complete. These are the various states. And for the okay.
No, sorry, Abhinay, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So the requested item can in turn contain task, more than one task associated to it. So by default in this workflow for this particular laptop order, there's only one task which is configured. But if the agent feels or the support team feels that, this needs to be another task to be created for a different team, then there is an option to create manual task as well. So this you click on the new option, and you can fill in basic details. Right now, considering the time, I'm just trying to create a task here. So when you click on the update button, it will take you to the previous screen. So now if you see, there are two tasks. One is a custom task, which has been created, and this is created out of the flow, which is designed for this particular service to be fulfilled. So let's.
Yeah. So just to add on to it, Abhinay. So I'm sure you would be knowing the difference between an incident and a request, right? But I'll just reiterate. So an incident, you log an incident when a service is down, right? Or a service is unreachable, or there is something, um, or if, there is a service interruption, basically. You would raise the request when there is something to order, right? So in ServiceNow, we have a 3-tier model. We have the request, the requested item, and an task, right? What does that basically mean? So if I just move away from an IT, from this tool, and just give you an example, like for example, you are, browsing through Amazon, right? You're doing some shopping, right? You do one thing, right? You have to order multiple items, right? So what you do, you order a book, right? You add it to a cart, right? Then you realize that, you also had to, buy a cream, right? You, order that, or, add that cream to the cart as well, right? Then someone says that, hey, I wanted a mouse or a keypad or right, any electronic gadget, right, from that site. You add to that cart as well, right? And what you do, you say, hey, continue shopping. And then you say that my orders are filled. Now I want to place my different orders, right, in one go itself, right? So what you do is you submit, do all the payments, and in a single order, you get, in a single order, your multiple requests get executed. Now those requests are for a cream, a pair of shoes, maybe, and keyboard, like for example. But there won't be one supplier for, that there won't be a single supplier for each of the three requests. It would go to three different suppliers. So if I move back in the ITSM world, right? So this request is the one single step, right? What you did to execute three different orders. Now these three orders, or these three items, were RITMs, what Abhinay was showing. And these tasks are basically the people who are fulfilling the request. So if I now take an IT example, you have a new joiner, right? He says that, hey, I want a mouse, I want a keyboard, I want a laptop, I want a headset, right? And he wants to raise all four requests, right? So what you will do is you click on a request, you raise multiple requests, and you can execute it a single time in one go. Like you create 4 different requests from a catalog, add it to the cart, and submit it at one go. Or what you can do is, submit each request as a different request, right? So this is how it basically works. So this task is something like for the end users, for the support team who will actually fulfill that request. So for example, they say that, hey, I want a CPU with this particular configuration, right? This task is raised to the team who would provide the CPU, but they felt that, hey, I need some extra RAM. So what they would do is for that extra RAM, they would create another task, right, for the team to provide them with the uh, with the with that RAM. Once the RAM they get, right, they would close their task, which in turn will close the requested item and the request at the top. If in case you have raised multiple items, then only that particular order will close, but the other orders will still be open. So your parent request won't close until all your orders are completed. Generally, 90% of time, there is one request, one order, and one task. But ServiceNow allows, this feature wherein you can execute multiple different orders for a single user in one request itself. Hope that makes some sense.
It does.
Okay. So before closing in our ATM, we would need to close the. Just trying to close it using my admin privileges in the interest of time.
And all these approvals and all are pre-configured. That is none, like you don't have to go into the details at this point in time. It's the way they want to operate. Maybe they want the manager to approve the request so that the team can, share the laptop with you. So they will approve it. Your basic job would be basically to, create a request for them, just submit it. What happens after that? It's the workflow case, take care of it. It's an automated workflow. You just have to create the task for them as a part of service desk.
Okay, so my task is closed. The support team has worked on it and the task is fulfilled. Then I would go and, this would be in work in progress when at least one task is in progress initially, but right now I've just closed it before using my admin privileges. So now I would close the requested item. And then that would in turn result, and we can have customizations wherein when all the requested item is closed, it would automatically close the request as well. But right now, since it is using an ServiceNow provided instance, that feature, that customization is not available. Apologize because there's some slowness in the instance, and this happens with the ServiceNow personal developer instance, but when it comes to the actual client instance, it would be pretty fast. Meanwhile, we'll try creating a change. Click on change. The window that you see here is an interceptor window that we call it as. Let's go about creating an emergency change for a high priority incident. And we'll relate an incident, the change. And there's another way that we can create a change from the incident. See, you have this is called, when you right click, this is called a context menu. Here from the incident, if you want to relate an incident to a problem or a request or a child incident or a normal change, standard or emergency, I can use this option to create. So in this case, I want to go about using this option to create an emergency change. So what has happened? Now it is like an emergency change is created for this incident. That means it has created a change, like, and it is associated that incident, saying that this incident is fixed by. That's what I've chosen for. There are many ways, like a change can be created to fix an incident, or the change could be a resultant of an incident, incident caused by this change. So because of this change, we are raising this change to fix an incident, or this is a resultant of some change has been, an incident which has caused to have this change being created. So when we create a change, there are certain basic fields that you have to fill in. As you can see, when I did that use that context menu, some of the field values have been copied from the incident ticket. For example, the short description and the configuration item. So this way, here, this incident fixed by the change. The incident has been, because of this change, it has been, we're resultant of that incident. We are going to use this change to fix that change. So that is the reason it has auto-populated few of the fields. And basically, we provide in basic details like justification. Implementation plan is like, what we are actual steps to execute. And the risk would be auto-populated based on the risk questionnaire. So that questionnaire is not available here. Ideally, we will fill in certain questions to determine the risk in the change ticket. So here I'm just giving some medium result, and then backout plan means if the change is fails, if the change fails, what are the steps to back out? Measures that we take. And test plan. So obviously, whenever you do some changes to an instance or environment, what has to be tested? So that is what we have it here, or and even an attachment can be used for the test plan. Then there is a tab called schedule. Okay, when the change has to be executed at a particular time, right? So you fill in the planned start and end time. So say, for example, I wanted it on a weekend, so Saturday. And my change window is from 16th to 17th, Saturday and Sunday, because since the business doesn't operate during weekends, we prefer choosing this most probably. And I'm saving this. So since it is a emergency change, yeah, now it has saved. So since it is an emergency change, you can, this SS would be skipped. So it will go for the CAB approval. CAB is like Change Advisory Board. Before moving into the next step, you have the assignment group to be populated. So you can see earlier the state of the change is new, and now it is an authorized state. So the change, the pop-up which comes in here, the note is like change is awaiting for approval because it is going for a CAB approval. This is an assignment group, and these are the members of this group. So here it is being configured that if one member of the group approves, then the request would be moving to the next state. So I'm just using all my admin privileges.
So
now the changes should do.
Sorry, Vinay. Just to add a quick note over here, like you as a part of service desk, I understand that won't be using or creating many changes, but why we wanted to give you an overview of this a very high level is because you might get in some calls, right, stating that hey, what's the current state of my change, where exactly it is, like is it authorized, it is scheduled, so you should know all these jargons and all. But I think what we will do is we'll quickly go through the change, and have a quick review of the problem ticket, a problem function, and then we'll talk about some of the functions and features that you can use in your daily operation, which would make probably your life easier in navigating or creating tickets, or seeing what all tickets you're assigned to and things like that.
Yeah, so I'll just quickly move to the next steps. So we have the option to implement. So once the change is scheduled, when the actual implementation time comes in, then the change is supposed to be moved to implement. And in the implement stage, there would be certain task which is created, like implementation task and the testing. So right now I'm just skipping some of the states. Once the implementation is complete, it will move to the review. The change has to be reviewed, whether it is successfully implemented or not, by the usually by the technical team. And then we close the change. Before closing, this closure note and closure code are mandatory, and it is very important to fill in as details description that you have should be more containing more details. It's not just we given very high level sentences here, but for now I'm just giving. Okay, so now the change is closed. We'll move on to the next, which is problem. So I would create the problem here.
So this again, you won't be working because problem is something which is a part of root cause analysis. Once a ticket is resolved, once an incident is resolved, a business might want to know what happened, why exactly it was caused, and what was done, and what can we do to, ensure that this does not happen again. So for that, we use the problem module, right? We create problem tickets. So this is again just for your high level visibility, how it works.
Yeah. So I'm just giving very minimal details. So I save the problem ticket. So you have buttons that you move to the next state, which is assess. You need to assess the problem. So before assessing, the assignment group is important. So let me fill in the group. So this is a problem investigation team who would be just using some random.
So strictly in the meanwhile, just speaking from a service desk standpoint, there won't be any calls that you would get on a day-to-day basis, which will say that, hey, um, please create a problem ticket for me. That won't happen. That happens very rarely. And if something like that happens, it's taken care by the leadership or by the problem manager. So a problem is only created once an incident is resolved. So you basically, your core department would be, or your core function areas would be incident and request. That's where you need to, build your, capability around. But then, yes, it's always a good thing to know about some of the common ITSM features, right, that are in use. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so I have this question because sorry, was there a question?
I was wondering, I would imagine some of these problems are actually created, and you have to kind of sort out what really is the case, because it could be misunderstood entirely, and then it's registered as different. In other words, it's not it's all an incident, but it could also be something different. So you have to know, or how do you clear the mind of a customer, so that you don't create an incident other than, or you have to, what I'm saying is, I can imagine it can get very confusing because you're trying to understand what the customer or the client is trying to resolve. And is it your responsibility to make sure that it becomes a certain defined incident, or you just put it in as an incident and let somebody else
No,
try to?
so I won't go into, because this is something we take upon in as a part of a different training, but I'll still answer your question, right?
All right, thank you.
So if you get a ticket, right, you got to get a call, right? What do you do, right? Your first step is that to see, understand what the issue is. So for example, customer is reporting that something is not able to access. So what will you do? First of all, you would see that, hey, is this issue still going on? Right, that would be your first step, right? You do the related search and look for any open tickets that is on for this issue, right? You didn't find any. You would check and find out, see if there is any knowledge article which says that, for example, like this application or this function or feature won't be available between 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. on every Friday, and maybe it's calling on a Friday, right? You don't want to bother the team or create an ticket, right? So that's the second thing is you do this, right? You won't see any of this. There is no open ticket. There is nothing going on. You simply go ahead and create the ticket, right? If in case there is some history which is not there in ServiceNow, it's not your fault that you're not aware of. It would be the support team who will then close the ticket, provide the necessary feedback to the customer. But yes, if in case as a service desk agent you have some information, right? You have a knowledge article, there has been some instruction that has been passed out. You do your due diligence. If there is nothing, then you simply go ahead and create an incident. You would never create a problem. Problem is only created if there has been a priority 1 or a priority 2 ticket raised in the environment, which has been considered a major incident, right? And or there is an direction from the leadership, and on a proactive basis, they want to investigate a root cause of a certain issue. But that also is not something which the service desk is expected to, um, excuse me, is expected to create, right? So that's something I wanted to say about. Hope that answers. Or if you have any other questions, you can still let me know. I mean, like, I want to be as generic as I can because this is kind of a service, ServiceNow training. I can go about talking the process part. I can go about hours talking about it, but in the interest of time, I really do not want to go into details. But feel free to reach out to me anytime if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Okay, so now when the root cause analysis is complete at this stage, I'm not filling in a few details, so I would like to proceed with a fix. So before moving, we have certain fields. Just course notes and course notes and fix notes. I'm just giving in some values. And I click on OK. Okay, so now the problem investigation is done and the fix is in progress. And once the fix is implemented successfully, then we move it to the resolve state. And there are options, like if you want to reanalyze, when you click on this, it would again go back to the previous states. So this is about the life cycle of the problem ticket. And now let's move on to certain features on this UI. So we have this favorites, right? So basically, for example, I would like to have something like incident. And I click on all, which will give you the list view. So here, I would like to add a filter to see what and all incidents are in progress. I don't want any other options, only in progress. So in that case, I use this option where I can choose the field name is state, right? State is in progress. And I run the query. So this will give you a refined list. It has only fewer records, like that is like 97. So when I just want to add this to my favorite list, so that I don't want to every time when I want to run the same query to see what and all incidents are in progress, I don't have to do the same thing, like, click on all and then again going and using the filter and all that. So this is an option where you go add to your favorites. I can give some colors to it and some image. Right now it is this orange. I'll choose. I'm clicking on save. Right. See, I've got this. Next time I move to a different module, for example, a problem module, and I'm working on that. I'm in this place, and then suddenly I would want to review my incident list after a while. So I can just go to the favorites, click on this incident. It would automatically take you to that filter where it says, like, all the currently incidents which are in progress state. So this is one cool feature that can be utilized. And this is there is a history option. So recently, whatever is we have browsed, right, like in the beat forms or groups or like these record producer, I can click on this recently accessed application, and that would take you to that list. And this is a global search, which we have seen. And here it is, it's all the preference. You have display, you can set the timing based on your location. And this is for debugging, and this is for notification, what notification that you want it to be enabled. I'd like to go back.
So it's a very intuitive and an interactive tool. And even like, for example, you use you would be using an create new incident, right? I mean, can you just type in incident? Just type in incident in the filter navigator. So even if you probably, I mean, yeah, there is this star option, right? If you click on create new, just hover your, key towards the create new incident. Yeah, you can see a star option over there. Even if you use this particular star option over here, it will add or automatically add this create new in your favorites. And you don't have to, go ahead and every time type in incident and create new. Go on to your favorites and use that create new option to, create a new incident. Right. So that is something for you to, not, not go through all the troubles. So as in when you get, settled onto a project, right, you enter organization, you would know what are your top used fields, right? So you can always create a favorites, and rather than scrolling and going through all these options, you could just have a 4 or 5 or 6 favorite buttons that you use in your everyday life to navigate through things, and you can just use it from there. You do not have to run through all these options that are there in the filter navigator. And then maybe if Abhinaya, you can talk about the my work and my assigned for like the queue managers and all, how they can look at tickets which are assigned to them.
Yeah, so we have, this is, since it is an PTI, I just have, so we already have a module here, like, assigned to me. So when you click on this, I'm logged in as an admin. So whatever tickets is right now, I don't have any tickets assigned to me, to my group. I mean, there are, you can customize to have it like, assigned to your group as well. So right now there is nothing. So it doesn't list. Otherwise, if there is any ticket, for example, I'll just assign a ticket.
Yeah, so for an example, uh, like Mario, right? You are coming in your shift, right? So service desk is 24/7. You come in the morning and there is this ticket that your counterpart is working on, right? And he says that, hey, can you take this over? Right? Or there have been some tickets which you have been working yesterday, but you are not able to resolve it, right? So how would you go back to it? Right? How would you see, or what you would see that, your queue manager or supervisor might have assigned you some work. How would you see that? You just have to click on assign to me. So anything that your manager, your supervisor, your fellow agent has assigned to you, right? You should be just, whether it's an incident or a request, maybe it can be a request. You would say that, hey, I went to the caller, but he was not available. He is available and based out of, say, India. He is available only at a particular set of time, and you need to call him between 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. to get a response, to get a closure notification. So, that is a task which is assigned to you. So he would assign a ticket to you, right? So you come in. So every day, what we do, or what I used to do, just click on assign to me, or Abhinay, can you see if we can see my work or my group's work or anything which pops up if we type in work?
This is my personal instance. So you could.
Yes, so it's your personal instance. There is also an option which says my work. So any ticket, whether it's an incident or a request or a task that is assigned to you, you just type in over here work or my work. It will show you the things that you're supposed to work on, and you can add it. It's a one-time job. You can just add it to your favorites and you just have to click on it. You don't need to navigate. And then specifically for the queue managers, whatever ticket is assigned to your group. Now, just like you assign tickets to other groups, there might be the support tracks who would say that, hey, this has been assigned incorrectly. You are not correct in assigning this ticket to me. They will throw back the ticket at you, right? Or maybe reassigned is the word over here. But that actually they mean to do, throw back the ticket at the source, right? So they would say that, hey, we are not the people who should be resolving this ticket, assign it to someone else. So how would you know that? How would you keep an eye? So there is an option which says my group's work, right? So any ticket which is assigned to the service desk queue, right? You would be able to see it through a my group's work. This training instance is not allowing to do that, but your instance will do. But you can make a note of it. These two keywords, my work and my group's work, and then you can assign the ticket to any of the agent. Like they would assign it to uh, Mario or Candace or David and say that, hey, work on it, right? And they would work on it, and then they can push it push it to the correct group. But how would they do that? They would just check how many tickets are right now pending in their queue and what the status is. So it is very customizable. You can do that on your own. It's just a one-time activity, or once you are coming into an account, there would be already some predefined or custom reports that the team would have built in. So you can just use those reports. So even in reports, I think Abhinay would walk you through. You can just create a report and share with the entire team. So everyone in your team does not need to specifically go ahead and create that report. Even one of you can go ahead and uh, create one report and make it visible to the entire team or to a specific set of people according to to the use of that report. So I'll pass it on to Abhinaya to probably show the reporting part or the dashboard part.
Basically, in the incident, when you click on the overview, it will take you to the incident overview dashboard. This is the dashboard, and it has out of the box certain reports. It's like open incident for a particular group. So it's grouped by priority. And this is also incident older than 30 days. For example, I would like to have, so this is another one. So let me create report. How do I create a report? It's like type in report, and there's an option called create new. So I'll just click on that. It's a bit slow. Okay, so the report name is, I'm just giving incident state. Based on the state of the incident, I want to see certain reports. So this is from the table because incident is a table. And I choose the table name. The table name for incident, for the incident module is incident. And basically SLAs also we can create, like wherein, how many SLAs are breached and how many SLAs are like, in progress, which has certain time. So those things can be configured here. I'll just go with a simple configuration, how to create. So when you click on next, it will show you the type. So here you can choose what kind of reports that you can create. The one that we saw in the, dashboard is all a bar chart. You can use a horizontal bar or this. So now I'm just trying to use a different one, a donut, probably.
That
And
sounds
then
so,
the next, sorry.
that sounds delicious right now.
Okay, it's good. So it is grouped by, I'm grouping it by state, right? State values. So here, all these are there. Display table data. If you click on this below, see right now how this appears, it's just only this. So if I click on this display table data, it would list the table value, table view as well. And I click on the next here. So here, I can use color palette, or it could be a plain or some, whichever way you would like to see your report very colorful. And what is the size? Like it could be medium or small. Let me put it as large. And then I'm just save it. Save the report. Okay. Now you can see the incident. And once the incident is created, the report is created, you can actually define the permission. So when you click on share, you have an option whether you want to share it with everybody or with a specific group alone. So that's something you can use, or it's only with me and I don't want to share with anybody. So whichever way you want, you can choose. I'm just sharing it with everybody. And there's no role required for now. And yeah, it is shared. It's shared now. So when I run this report, and this is how it is existing, right? So it says in progress, there are 97 records. Closed state, there are 6,731 records. New, it is in 48. 48 incidents are in new state, on hold, and the result. So this will give a table view as well as a pictorial view, like, whichever one you choose. So now this is the way you create a report, and you want to add this report to a dashboard, right? So I'll just click on, put it as dashboard, show you how to create a dashboard. Performance analytics dashboard. Okay, I'm creating a dashboard. And I'm submitting this. Save. So when I go to the dashboard view, Okay, so now in this dashboard, there is no widget added. So we have to add the ones that we have created. For example, this is to apply which layout it is. So when I want to add some widgets, right? So what widget I want to add? It's the reports I want to. So this incident state is something new which I created now. So I'll add this. I'll add this. Okay, to my, and along with that, I would also like to add few more incident related. See, incidents per week. There are out of the box so many which is present, right? In a week, for the last 1 week, how many incidents are there? This one. So let me add one more. Okay, open incidents older than 30 days. Okay, this should be fine for me. So now my layout looks like this, right? One after the other. And I want to slightly change my layout. So I'm choosing this to be a 2x2. And this is the way it saves, and however you want. Yeah, now it has reordered when the arrangement is changed here. So this is the way you create a dashboard. I hope pretty much all the topics are covered. And this is very important feature and very useful for the service desk, because the day-to-day incidents, tracking the incidents, this dashboard will be very helpful. And there's one more point which I would like to add. So I've put in this. So when I click on, this shows like how many in progress, right? When I click on this yellow, I mean the color thing, it'll take you to the list view, wherein there is a filter added. What are the tickets which is in progress? It'll take you to the list of incidents from the dashboard, that the report that is created. When you click on a particular portion which shows, say for example, if you click on the closed incidents, then you click on that, it will take you to the list view where it will show you all the incidents which are in the closed state. Yeah, with this, I think we have covered all the topics. So any questions?
Yes. Thanks, Avinya. So, folks, I know we are, running time, an extra time, but we are still open to any questions or queries if anyone has. Sorry, anyone has any question?
Okay. We take it as a Mario.
Yes. Yes. No, we'll take it as a no. I was expecting some questions, but I hope this overview, or a very high level overview of ServiceNow, might have now, kind of given you an impression of what ServiceNow looks like, what to see, what it has to offer. Although, this time is too less to go into details, because ServiceNow, if we try to cover ServiceNow, only even ITSM, it would take days to cover that. So, but we have tried to give you at least a knowledge about the functions that you would, or features that you would be using on a day-to-day basis. So, yeah. Yeah, you're trying to say something.
No, I'm sorry. I'm working technical difficulties out. So I need a ServiceNow ticket.
Abenya, that was very well covered. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you. And
sorry, I just wanted to thank you both for your time and your really detailed and very high level overview of ServiceNow. I think everybody got a lot out of it today.
No, it was good. I appreciate it.
really.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You all have a good Monday
Wonderful.
and a good rest of the week.